Hello there and welcome to my reaction to Hobbies by Internet Historian on Incognito mode channel, and I think there's many kudos in it as the guest this time. I don't have much to say except that they're probably gonna talk about hobbies, so like, comment, subscribe, become a member, let's begin.
Brought to you by Waldorf Tanks. Hobbies.
Just said it kinda weirdly.
What are hobbies? Is
What
rock
are they?
climbing a hobby?
Yes. Oh. Well, I guess this is the end of the video.
On In the Field.
You finished it.
Alright, so do
Okay.
you have any hobbies?
Immediately kind of weird
I
one.
have many.
Really?
Yeah, swindling larger YouTube channels, that's probably the biggest one. But outside of that, I play Dungeons and Dragons every week.
Nerd.
Okay, well,
Oh, I
No,
wish
sorry,
we could
carry
do
on.
that.
Sorry, I didn't realize my mic was on. Carry on.
do you just have a big red button that you push to mute
Yeah,
when you want to
yeah.
yell slurs? Tell me about your
Wow.
hobbies.
The older you get, the more maintenances around the house become your hobbies. I do quite a lot
I
of gardening.
guess.
Old green thumb, eh?
I'm not
Oh.
amazing at keeping the plants alive or fruiting.
Oh,
but
okay.
I am good at keeping
That's a
them.
problem.
Yeah. Once in a while, landscaping as well. Like I rent the diggers and then I smooth out the dirt and such. Otherwise, I watch a lot of YouTube.
So that's interesting because I
Okay.
don't.
Interesting.
I don't know if that makes me a bad YouTuber or a good one. Because
Oh, I've got my hand in the air.
I've heard that
I
some
have the
YouTubers
answer
don't
to
watch
this one,
YouTube at all.
Nick.
am I a good
think that's-
YouTuber or not?
Bad.
normal.
I want to guess bad YouTuber. Carry on, mini kudos.
Was it the awful videos or the lack of uploads?
I'd say both, sir.
Well, Timmy, maybe one day you too can put off uploading to your YouTube channel. Something I find interesting but I'd never do is those people who go like, I know what you call it, like dredging or magnet fishing, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Where you see these videos on
What?
YouTube and TikTok, which are probably like faked a lot of the time, but I'm sure they still
Or like
find
the-
they're just
oh,
so
magnet
many
fishing.
guns.
I love that stuff. Watching people
Yeah.
panning for gold,
And
people
that's,
like looking around with metal detectors and stuff. In fact,
I
was
always
so
wanted to go with a metal detector somewhere. I know I never will be able to, but it could be pretty cool.
into that stuff for a while. This is before I had a YouTube channel. That I bought a metal detector, and
Oh.
I went to Historian. I'm like, come on, we're gonna go down to a thing. We're gonna go to a park or
Yeah.
something, and we're gonna find a creek, and we're just gonna like metal detect around. As soon as I had the metal detector in my hand, I was so embarrassed. I just
Really?
felt embarrassed. I can't explain it.
The reality set in that you'd have to be the guy going metal detecting.
Yeah, and we went down to like this creek, and on the way there, you'd pass by people, and you'd kind of like try to push the metal detector kind of behind their line of sight. So they wouldn't
God.
see you. And then we got down there, and boy, that metal detector was a real piece of shit. I didn't have much money at the time, so I just bought like the cheapest
Oh,
one.
50 bucks.
And so it only made a beeping noise when there wasn't anything.
That's kind of
That is the worst
the
scenario.
opposite.
'Cause it still works, but it's now incredibly annoying.
Loud and awful, yeah.
On the other hand, historian's so
Snorted.
bad, she leaves you and you have to walk home that day.
We didn't find anything except like one bottle cap, and then like on
Yeah.
the way back we're like, oh, there's a beach. All right, fine, I'm gonna try the beach, and couldn't find anything. We're making this really loud fucking noise. People are looking at us, and then I went, all right, I'm not finding anything here. Hold on, and I threw $2 into the sand. To see if the thing would pick it up. It not only didn't pick it up, but then I lost the $2 in the sand.
Oh my god.
Lost money. Stupid fucking hobby, and I haven't been metal detecting ever since.
I think metal
I
detecting is
would
a
quite like to get into
expensive
pigeon
hobby
racing.
Okay.
because
I
that
met a
happens
guy
otherwise.
Who bred and raced pigeons,
Okay.
and it is fascinating. They'll race
Okay.
these things over, like 400 kilometers,
Oh, wow.
and it'll come like down to the wire.
Yeah.
It is really cool the way they breed these particular pigeons, and like, oh well, this one has particular stamina, but this one has a lot of speed.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
Okay,
you
has
can
the
keep
RPG stats
pigeons
for them.
basically the same way you keep chickens,
Mm.
but they just sit there and make this noise like,
That's a really
Yeah.
good pigeon noise.
oh, thank you. Instead of
It-
like,
it is.
like a chicken does.
That's a
right?
bad
The
chicken
chickens
noise.
are awful and they stink, but pigeons are just like, Hey, I'm purring like a cat, you know?
I
you can
also
eat
don't like
chickens
pigeons, but I
and
will
have
give you that they
eggs.
are quieter and less smelly than chickens.
Yes.
Yeah,
Possibly less tasty too, though. But my only
Yeah.
issue with something like pigeon racing is because
Probably.
I'm assuming it's somewhat of a niche sport. I would feel like I'd want like cool video game stats involved. You know, like if I was going to be breeding these little suckers, I'd
Yeah,
want
like
to have like a
chocobos.
UI where I can be like, here's this guy's speed rating out of 10.
They do that. They do that.
What the fuck?
They have these little ankle bracelet things, and then they have like a QR code on them, and then they have like these websites online that take all of their stats and track them by GPS and do all this stuff. It's like crazy.
That's like
Whoa.
sports stats, but for birds.
And you know what?
That's
Here's how you race
cool.
a pigeon, right?
You throw it really hard.
You go to the starting line, and then you let it go, and then you sit in a chair having a few drinks, and then someone's
probably a
going to
couple
call you on
hours.
the phone in a few hours and tell you that you won or lost. It's brilliant.
Oh, but the thought of that is really funny.
Yeah, and it's like once you win, then you can put this pigeon out to stud like a bull. This one's the fastest. Well, now it's worth like 100 grand. Come on. And you put it in a cage with like 200 female pigeons.
And you play romantic pigeon music.
Yeah, exactly. And you know that this is just going to be the greatest moment.
I guess
of
it's
this
the same
pigeon's
as like
life.
horses and
Fucking
stuff.
hilarious.
My problem is pigeons suck, and I think something like a hawk or something seems way cooler to breed.
Hawks are pretty cool. Well,
Yeah.
hawks are the natural enemy of the pigeon, you see.
So what
Makes
you're saying
sense.
is I should breed hawks and you should breed pigeons.
No.
We'll see who wins.
It's probably easier to breed
No,
pigeons than
keep yours away
hawks.
from my- It's not fair. Ad time. World
Oh,
of Tanks.
for what?
sponsorship. Sandra, have you heard about this new free-to-play MMO with over 160 million players?
The best thing about World of Tanks
No.
is not just that it's free, which it is.
Is that they're continuously pumping out new content. Like an old drainpipe in the Philippines, there's a constant flow of content into the greater ocean. Did you know you can enjoy World of Tanks
There is
on
enough
console
trash in the ocean.
or on the mobile
Oh
phone?
my god.
All you have to do is call up this number and you tell them where you want to move. Yeah, go 5 yards forward. Fire. Did I hit him?
That's a hit.
Now, Sandra, this game is set
So-
in the post-apocalypse. All of the animals have gone extinct,
forgot the
except
name.
for the tank. But then a
The ship
world
game.
war breaks out between them.
Hey, Mohammed. I heard there's only one tank in the whole game.
That's not true, Sandra. In fact, there are lots of different classes of tank. You can be a healing tank, you can be a stealth tank, you can even be a druid tank. This is downtown
I don't think
London
that's true.
before any sort of conflict happened. Boy, this really reminds me of a war I can't mention, Sandra. So go to the link below and use the code COMBAT. We'll give you
Another
a
few wars.
Cromwell B premium
Past
tank.
and present.
250,000 credits. 7 days World of Tank premium account time, plus 3 rental premium tanks. By the way, they sent us some promo stuff, and some of these are like ads that have Arnold Schwarzenegger in them. And Mila Jokovic and Chuck Norris. I don't know why they sent me this, but it's brilliant. Look at this.
Also, they collaborate
Yeah,
with
close.
Girls und Panzer.
Oh, I actually like that one. And same with Valkyria Chronicles. It's a good game. You know, Sandra, I heard they're adding a
Alright.
dating sim to World of Tanks. Oh, Cromwell summer. My
Persona
barrel's
music.
all filled with ash and debris. Take this pipe cleaner and go to town. Sandra, how come you're in that tank right now?
I don't know.
Oh, stop. You're destroying the whole set.
Oh no.
So click on the link in the description below and use code COMBAT
Derail,
to
but
get
I kinda
a
wanna
bunch
watch
of
this
stuff. Look at this stuff.
Schwarzenegger and Mila Jovovich and Chuck
I
Norris
know
ads.
what the worst hobby is.
What?
Candle making.
Really?
Oh, what's the fucking point? Go down to the
This is
store
boring.
and buy a big candle for $1, or if you want a scented one, they're everywhere. Like, I don't understand why people are making their own candles. What's the...
Yeah.
There's one fun part about candle making, which is that you can dip your hand in the hot wax, and then you've got, like, a claw thing.
I
that
think you can
start
have like any
peeling the
shape.
wax.
It is surprising that isn't
But
some kind
that's
of
about it.
therapeutical thing, because it seems like somewhere like, have you been to the wax dipping?
Yes! Yeah, they've got those smoke pots and acupuncture
Yeah,
and shit. Why don't they have
acupuncture.
wax dipping?
That's the perfect
it is.
massage thing, because you know it kind of hurts like a lot of those kind of treatments. You know, acupuncture, massaging. There's like a pain element to them, but there's
Yeah.
also like a satisfaction element to them, where afterwards you feel like and then afterwards your skin would probably feel real like moisturized or something.
Yeah, because you would sweat.
Trains, on the other hand, I could see trains, because trains are like, that's a bit of a novelty. Like an old train's kind of cool to ride on.
There's this park in Melbourne, and it's got like this tiny train.
Oh.
There's a little conductor dude that sits in the
That's
front.
cute.
And he just gives rides like all day.
That's awesome.
I was enjoying the hell out of that, and I understood it all of a sudden.
So you're just suddenly all the cynicism that went into your early videos washes away. And that's why you only upload twice a year now.
Yes, no, I'm just too obsessed with trains now. Oh, is that the DC-45? Running on time, I see.
Would you tie a woman to the tracks? Do you reckon that? Do they ever do that? Is that a real thing someone did?
I would presume so.
Yeah,
I would
probably.
presume that's a pretty good way of taking someone out.
That has to be one of the most horrible way. Like, you're going to be mincemeat 100% chance. There's no way you're getting out of that.
Throw that one up, Jamie. Does anyone ever get tied to the railroad tracks? When did they start using the guillotine?
It's
that was
rare.
around
Well,
the
yeah, makes sense.
1700s, wasn't it? And that's like the same time that the train was around. Why didn't they just use the train?
Well, a bit messier to clean up, I think. You can't just
Yeah.
have a train running around covered in gore all the time.
Yeah, true.
You know what's crazy about the guillotine?
wheels
is
aren't as
the
sharp.
last, government-issued guillotining in France happened when the first Star Wars movie was in theaters.
Yeah, I was going to say it's like the 1970s or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like way later than you'd think.
Yeah. Do you reckon it hurts?
I actually think about that more often than I should, because they say that your brain activity still kicks around for a good, 30 seconds afterwards.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Do you reckon you're just like, fuck. Wow, this sucks.
Well, you'd land in the basket and then you'd be all nauseous, right? Because you'd be like, you'd spin and then land upside down. And you'd be like, my face is right up against this wicker. This is terrible.
Yeah, this just
The brain
sucks.
activities, they're
You know,
not
then
necessarily
might
that
be a
you
bit
can move
bored
your
for a
eyes.
while, like just waiting to die.
I hate thinking about this. This is stressing me out like it's something I have to do later.
Chickens
what
have
would be
it
the worst
worse.
part about getting guillotined? Because I suppose the blade is quick, at least.
Yeah.
There would be a moment just before you put your head in it that you get really close to the guillotine and you kind of
It
have
all
this sort of
comes
like,
in.
oh, this is really dangerous.
Yeah.
I should
Do
be
you know
doing
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you
It's
get too
happening.
close to like a bandsaw or
Yeah, you get
know,
like a
something
tingle in your
shot glass.
hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got it. Right. So what you do is
Yeah.
underneath you want to have a bit of a lever, like a seesaw, and then you have the basket there. So the
Okay.
moment it cuts through, your head falls off, it launches your head straight into the air, and then it's kind of like, whoa, I get to see the whole crowd.
That'd be
You,
the
was,
worst if it
you
like
said
only
you were
cut through
nauseous
halfway.
before that.
Yeah, or it gets stuck, and then they
You have to,
try
like,
to
pull
lift-
it up again.
and then that's pulling your neck as well. And,
I
oh,
doubt that
They
happens.
just stand above it and just kick the back of your head.
It's better to kick the guillotine.
We're gonna need a couple fellas just to jump up and down on the blade, please. Oh, here's the problem. You tied a bloody knot in the rope. It's caught against the... It's like caught against the wooden beam.
This is very morbid.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about other
Good
ways to do the guillotine.
In a video about
You could have them-
hobbies,
You could have them at the very
guillotine.
You
What?
drop them onto the...
top. Yeah.
What?
Or you have an enormous spring underneath the blade, so everyone has to kind of pull.
Sounds fucking
pull,
pinball.
pull, and then it goes off.
Yeah, right, yeah, like you're loading. This feels like if like, as seen on TV, infomercials invented a guillotine. Like, aren't you sick and tired of that normal guillotine? And they invent this weird double-sided guillotine that can, like,
It
cut.
slices, it dices, and only 3 payments of $39.95 plus postage. And the old person tries to drop the blade, but then they just kind of fall over, and then they're
Yeah, they try and pull on the rope, and then they just immediately go and turn to the camera, like holding their wrist. What about one that's like a fan, and it's like
oh yeah. So you just keep sliding people through it.
like a conveyor, and have them turned into little slices?
Oh yeah, that'd be
A
quite nice.
people
Yeah,
shredder.
We're essentially describing a deli slicer, but yeah.
Electric chair, that sounds pretty bad, but I feel like it'd be pretty quick.
Okay.
Why are we
so
talking
how
about
will you
executions
approach an electric
now?
chair? I'm thinking what you do is instead of one big shock, just thousands of little shocks.
They just randomly occur all over your body.
Yeah, it's like you're constantly licking a 9-volt battery.
Yeah.
What if they just tape the battery to your tongue and then walk away and go,
It does 1 damage at a time, but eventually... Well, that's just death by 1,000 cuts, but it's death by 1,000 small shocks.
I don't think you will
I
die.
wonder if you did just cover someone in wet 9-volt batteries, like whether you would die from starvation or like electrical
Starvation,
current.
yeah, more likely.
I think eventually, like, your muscles must just give out.
But it's like the muscles, it'll be your heart or brain that like...
I don't think batteries are strong
your
enough
heart would
to
give out. Yeah, that would be
do
it.
anything
yeah.
like that.
You'd just get overexerted.
Yeah, okay, hold on. What if electrical chair, but there's a phone to play Family Guy on it while you die?
Okay, I didn't think
what if,
like share could be worse.
Oh, shit. I just lost it.
Did the Family Guy phone flashbanged you?
Throwing
It just wiped your brain like a Men in Black clicker.
Yeah.
Okay, imagine a Men in Black if instead you didn't see anything and they held up Family Guy Funny Moments compilation.
Oysters.
One of those things that I got interested in for quite a while was oysters.
Oysters.
Yeah.
Oysters.
Yeah, I just thought they were really interesting.
You went on oysters.com.
I don't know what that is. It won't be good though. And I went to this oyster tour in Tasmania, and they were just telling about all these like really interesting things about oysters. So yeah, we used to have these piles and piles of shells. We would burn them and turn them into lime. Oh, really? Okay.
Sure.
So anyway, most oysters are about 7 years old, and here's how they mate.
Let me get some of that oyster. See, yeah, I think it's a clam, not an oyster. But there's a picture where like they put a bunch of salt in front of a clam, and its big gross tongue like flops out and licks up all the salt.
Ooh.
Have you seen that?
No.
Let me find that. It is interesting.
Pull that one up, Jamie. It's doing it.
Isn't that fucked up?
Yeah, they're pretty awful.
I just want to fucking slam my fist down on it when its tongue's out.
Do you reckon it pulls its tongue out and goes, ooh, salty?
No, I think that's the point of it pulling it out.
I hated salt, but then like it also has to use its tongue as its like primary means of transportation, so it has to like put its tongue in the salt to get away from the salt. It's kind of like it's like a saw trap almost.
Yes. Why hasn't anyone done saw but for animals? Yes. You're always poking your tongue out at people. Well, now there's salt around and stuff.
What if there was a Saw movie where he just did it to like innocuous animals?
So
give a shit about like clams and like deep sea anglerfish.
You're always just swimming around in the dark. Now you're sellotaped to a 800-watt light bulb. He's having like a mussel and clam stew, but he throws them all in a pot and then turns the water on to boil. And he goes, here I have set up a trap. You must escape before the water boils. But he always intended just to have a stew.
Yeah, exactly. He just watches as they boil because they're fucking like clams. They can't do anything.
Now comes the warm
Disgusting.
butter.
If you do not escape in 10 seconds, you'll be enveloped in fresh cream, which will permeate into your lungs and tongue, rendering you unable to move.
I don't think they have lungs.
What's an animal you would like to see in a saw trap?
Sometimes I see those birds that are like, they're usually water birds, and they've got these very long, slender legs.
Flamingos and stuff.
God, that would be satisfying just to walk over and be like, snap that.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't actually want to hurt it, but
like a breadstick.
Yeah, it's kind of, I'm not going to, but it's kind
Sure.
of like, you know, when your mate is showing off a brand new pencil.
Bird.
Oh yeah, you just
And he's like, I love this thing. I've sharpened it perfectly. And you just want to reach over and snap it. In my head, all this stuff is absolutely hilarious. In real life, one time there was this mouse that got caught in a mouse trap at our place, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't finish him, so I had to let him go free in the park.
Yeah, I couldn't bring myself to do that either. I feel like my problem
Yeah, I
with
would have done the
Saw
same.
or just any horror movie really, which is another hobby a lot of people seem to love that I just don't understand. People never deserve it.
No.
Which I guess is kind of the point, but when it's like, just some teacher who didn't like appreciate their family enough or something, it's like this person doesn't deserve to have their like face cut in half.
Yeah, no. That's a sort of lesson that you would learn over the course of a lifetime to like appreciate your family. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that one's gonna work itself out.
You've just given them PTSD. You haven't solved anything.
Yeah.
One time I Dungeoned and Dragoned.
Okay, interesting. When was this?
I was invited to do some D&D stuff back in the university days. I showed up on a Saturday. It was about 1 in the afternoon, and we were there until about 7 o'clock, and we had to call it quits at 7 o'clock because the host's mum was coming home then. In that 6 hours, I think we managed to play for about an hour. And then the other 3 hours were spent setting up the game, and the other 2 arguing about the rules.
So you had the authentic experience, is what you're saying?
Yeah, it
I'm
seems to make
amazed
sense.
that anyone gets to do more than about 15 minutes of gaming per 4-hour session. You got any D&D story? You ever kill a man?
I do remember one time I went to a card store to buy some cards, and they were having like their weekly D&D night where like a whole bunch of different tables were all set up for people to play D&D.
Yeah.
And there's a guy sitting at one of them who had head to toe full Deadpool merch on.
Oh.
He had a Deadpool hat, he had a Deadpool jumper on, the jeans, I believe, probably just regular jeans, but they were black to fit with the color scheme. And then he had red and black sneakers, which I don't know if they were Deadpool branded, but they were definitely, continuing the color scheme.
You know what? Maybe it was like a bad coincidence. Like, maybe these are all the things he doesn't usually wear. Because, this happened to me once, right? Somehow, when I was like 11, I think my mum had bought me a camouflage shirt and camouflage shorts. And so, like, my dad, right, he kind of wanted me to be a bit of a snob for some reason when I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
So he used to take me to the driving range all the time. And I remember looking in my closet and going, I don't have anything except this camouflage shirt and these camouflage shorts that I never wear. And so I just had to wear both of those. And so I looked like I was going to the military at age 11. And I remember distinctly, like, we were waiting to go in. And there's these two absolute strangers who walk by in the other direction and they salute. And I just died. That's probably what happened to this dude. I think
it's
I
neither
would like
saluting
to
or
retire to a
make an
small
invisible
town
joke.
in Tasmania called Launceston.
Okay.
And one of the reasons is I was there and I was walking around downtown and, oh, neat. Looks like a Warhammer store. So I went in and I bought a book, which I never read. And then I went back out and then I walked 2 stores down and then all of a sudden another comic book store.
Okay.
Hey, that's brilliant. There's like 2 of these in a very small town. And then I walked around the corner of the block and there was like one of those war games stores right there. It was all within like 100-yard radius. It was brilliant.
I'd love to find like a real nerdy town that you just like, yeah, we're really nerdy, so what?
Yeah, we don't reproduce.
We just make a commune in the highlands of Tasmania and we just ship in Warhammer and D&D.
Absolutely. And then we set up like a cross between an internet.
I like that in this animation they didn't make the guy walk, but the wheels are still spinning.
Warhammer and D&D.
Absolutely.
If not correctly,
and then
but still.
we set up like a cross between an internet cafe and a deli. But we only let our friends in and then everybody gets free deli meats, right? And then eventually one of us becomes the mayor. I actually Googled once the current mayor of Launceston and I thought, you know what? I could at least take this guy in a fight.
Yeah,
Easy.
which is how they settle the
Yeah, that's not the
mayorship in
point, but
Tasmania.
okay.
Yeah, that's right. You stand in the middle of the triangle that intersects the 3 war game stores.
Yeah, and you have the ultimate war game. I've never fucking understood Yu-Gi-Oh! Because half my friends play it, but like you look at one of those cards and it is just a novel, man. It is like...
I have only ever seen the show, and that thing
I've never
does not
seen
seem to have
anything.
any rules at all.
Yeah, those motherfuckers just making
I've seen
shit
the
up
show
on
and
the
never
fly.
played the
You
games.
can't use 2 beast cards in one deck without sacrificing at least a spirit card. And you, what? Who? Where did that happen? And then
What the-
Yu-Gi-Oh! Immediately does it anyway without sacrificing the spirit card. And then he looks like he's, oh no, Yugi, you've lost all your life points. But then he's like, hold on a minute. I've got the heart of the cards. What does that mean? And then all of a sudden his poor life points
He
come
just
back.
pulls out a gun.
Did you ever watch Yu-Gi-Oh?
I did. I was obsessed with it as a kid. But you're right. It has such little bearing on the actual game. I like to imagine the card designers just saw every episode come out and they're just like, fuck. How are we going to keep up with, like, because obviously kids are going to buy the decks being like, I want to do Yuki's cool move.
Blue Eyes White Dragon, please.
I remember as a kid looking up the cards and the descriptions are
packs.
completely different to the show and being really disappointed. I also think
There's,
some
like,
kids
different
stole my
generation
cards, I'm not
stuff.
sure.
I know who it was. It was that goddamn Kaiba.
That goddamn Kaiba came to rural New Zealand and stole my deck that was probably worth $20 maximum.
He held your grandfather to ransom, and he wanted your Dark Wizard card. I think Yugi has the... I don't know if his name is Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Yugi.
His name's Yugi, and
is
then when he
Yugi,
turns into the version of him that's trapped in the Millennium Puzzle, he's Yummy Yugi.
I forgot about that, the Millennium Puzzle.
Yeah.
And don't forget the Millennium Eye, Yug.
And that's right, there he can like see under Yugi's clothes with it or something.
His facial expression would just change when he goes between the two. He had the most bizarre hair of any anime character I've ever seen. It was like, what is
Still
even
kind of the
happening
case.
Yeah,
with that? It's like
yeah.
3 different colors, and it's almost a pyramid.
At least like most anime characters here, it's like stupid, but you're like, okay, theoretically with enough hair gel, you could make that happen, like cloud's
Yeah.
hair or something.
Yeah.
Like there's just a blonde guy with spiky, like shaped hair, and then Joey's just from Brooklyn for some reason, even though it's like set in Japan.
you, grassy, yeah. Didn't it? Wait, wasn't this in a video?
Yeah, I also did a video on this.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
which you can click on the top right.
Yeah,
corner of the
don't
screen
do
right
that.
now.
Don't do that. Don't click on that.
I mean, I'm not gonna click if it's not there. The
All right,
end.
listen up, Mini Cooters. I've got your granddad. I'm gonna expose him to my gamma radiation card.
I'm gonna play a mountain and tap it and cast lightning bolt on your.
Are you
force-
turning Egyptian right now?
You've already done this joke before. Don't make me do blackface.
You're just in denial, Mini Cooters.
Man, you need to start finding someone else to do these.
All right, thanks for being on. I'll catch you later.
Oh, we'll see you at well, we got D&D tonight, and then you said you're coming around for Magic tomorrow.
My
and
mum's
then
coming home at 7. I gotta go.
We've got YuGiOh the day after that, and then we're going to be watching Game of Thrones the day after that. Warhammer, I think, was booked in on Sunday. So
I've got some terrible news.
oh,
This is historian,
oh,
internet historian's wife.
oh, okay. That's,
He has died.
Whoa, okay.
Any of those appointments, don't contact this number again.
I'm at your
Goodbye.
door looking at you, though.
Goodbye.
We're
Please
talking- we've been
respect
talk-
our privacy.
We've been talking face to
during this
face.
time of bereavement.
I'm looking at you.
Goodbye. Do not forget World of Tanks.
How could you forget? Alright, this had some weird tangents in the middle, especially with guillotines and electric chair. What the hell? I can't even remember how they got there. Like, it was going through Hobbies, I guess. Oh wait, did it come out of nowhere just after the World of Tanks ad? Yes. Yes, it did. Was it French favorite pastime, guillotine using? I don't care, phone, shut up. But still, it's a good video. I expected tensions, I just didn't expect it to go from Hobbies to, again, executions and stuff. But everything else seems fine. Either way, thank you everybody who watched this. I appreciate it a lot. I hope to see you next time, and goodbye. Have a great life, because one of us has to.